after a certain age, women in the society, they stop being the woman. Like they are treated like a man for some reason. So sometimes when women are
Absolutely.
left on their own, they can just be themselves. K-pop is most popular brand of music in the Northeast.
But let me start off by asking you the most obvious question, which is that the debut films are supposed to be normally very personal to the filmmakers. So, how much of you is there in the shape of Momo?
Uh, I think it is deeply personal, not in terms of the situations that are there in the film or plot, but obviously the characters are from around my family, especially the protagonist. As when people watch that film, my some of my close friends they tell me, "Oh, this is you." So I was like, "Yeah." So I think because I studied in city, and when I came back to my village, especially when I came back, uh, the the road was also not there in my house. So I had to literally walk almost a kilometer. The road came to my house 4 5 years back. So you can just imagine, like study in Kolkata, and then you come back to a village where there are no roads, nothing. So I think that moment, that duration in my personal and professional life really actually pushed me towards telling this story, I think. Because around that time I had just passed out from film school. I didn't know what I was going to do. Most of my friends were leaving for Bombay. So my father had passed away. So I was the only child with my mother. So at home, my sisters were married off. So there was a lot of personal pressure, a lot of pressure from family and society. So and I think I am one of those people who usually, like, people take time to make film about their experiences, but I am an impatient person. So I am like, whatever is happening, I have to put it out there. Obviously, it requires a lot of objectivity. So I think co-writer, since Kisle co-wrote it with me, so that objectivity he brought it out. Otherwise, it would just be about my experience. So yeah, so it is deeply personal.
So, which year was this that you started writing it?
Actually, ma'am, this script was something else before Kisle came on board. Because where actually I was trying to, because I was very sick and tired of the environment around me. I really wanted to follow a female character that has a very strong position in the society. And in a small village like ours, sub inspector is a very powerful position for a woman to hold. So initially in my script, she was the sub inspector, and all of this was going on. But it was like, I think it was a long time ago, 4 or 5 years back. I think it initially started, but because I started doing many projects in between, it came to a hold. And then when Kisle came on board, we started rewriting everything.
Mhm. And then it went to Hong Kong, is it? And or before that, any other labs did it go to?
Yeah, we went to Clinic Kathmandu, Dog School Clinic Kathmandu lab, and after that we went to Dharamshala, where this South Asian lab for 3 continents they had started. There we were, I think, the first batch, so we went there, and after that we went to NFDC Film Bazaar in the work in progress, and then we went to Hong Kong as work in progress project.
And then after that, Cannes, where I met you for the first
Yeah,
time in
yes,
person.
yes, yes, yes,
So the film has been going places now, finally getting premiered in Busan.
yes, ma'am.
Makes
Yes.
you happy? Makes you happy?
Yes, I think I am. I mean, we are also selected at Saint Sebastian's new directors section. So, but I am more excited for Busan in the sense because growing up, I have seen and watching a lot of films. I've seen a lot of cultural similarities between film from that part of Asia and our region, not necessarily the films from mainland. So, like in Apichapong's film or Zia Zanka's film, I've seen a lot of similarities. So, I'm really actually curious to see how Asian audiences there react to our film. So, I'm very excited
Mhm.
for that.
And when are you off to San Sebastian? When is that?
So
October?
our screening, no, no, no. These film
Mm.
festivals are happening simultaneously, almost.
Oh,
So I
okay.
think I will have my first screening in Busan, and leave half of my team members in Busan, and half of the team members will fly with me to San Sebastian.
So, Tribeni, I found coming to the film itself in particular, since you put it across as to how it came about. I see several strands in thematic strands kind of come together in the film. Uh, One is that of the return, which is kind of coming back home. Is there a way back? You know, and then you have the mother saying she chooses to stay back, and there's this whole sense of being conflicted and torn about each other, about the place, about the people. A simultaneous sense of alienation and yet a sense of belonging. Uh, I wanted to kind of learn from you a bit about this particular theme and where it emerges from when it comes to your own persona.
This is actually, ma'am, when I started making this film, because a lot of filmmakers and in film school, you are told that, if you have problems, start making a film about it, and eventually by the end of it, you will find an answer. but but this process has been nothing like that. I mean, like, by the end of this I only have more questions, so, which is also good. Um i think I'm still struggling with the fact that, because I personally would want to stay with my mother forever in this village, but given my circumstances and my profession, this is not something I can afford to do, like be in this remote village. And I managed to make this film, but I can always not make the same kind of film in the same kind of setup. So that is very challenging. But I think one of the most beautiful thing about this experience is, like, I have shared this film with some of my friends who also, like some of them live in the city but visit their parents in the village, or some of them live abroad but visit their parents in India. For them this has been a very, I mean, they resonated with the film so much. They were like, some of them cried, and so I feel like, um, I do not have an answer to this as such, because I think, especially for women of our generation who have to leave their house and work outside for professional reasons, I think this will deeply resonate, and we will never know. We will never know what if we stayed back, or some of them left. So I really don't know where this will conclude.
Mhm. So you shot it in your own village, is it?
Yes, 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 ma'am.
What's it called? Where is it in
It
Sikkim?
is called Nandok. It is in East Sikkim.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Another strand which I thought, there's this undercurrent, and a sense of fear also, is to do with the migrants, which you haven't kind of, you've kept it in the backdrop, as a sense of foreboding, as a sense of fear of the other, of the unknown. Wanted you to elaborate a bit on that, because that I found was, something very relevant in a larger, world global scenario, if you look at it,
Yes, yes. So I think whenever, especially people from Northeast region, we always complain about how the rest of the India is very discriminating towards us. But if you come to our region, you will face the same kind of discrimination. I mean, we are far more discriminating in some degrees. So I really wanted to highlight that as well. I mean, obviously, if it is a house full of women, women are scared of men from outside the house or in the village or strangers, but specifically coming from that particular class, and coming from particular region, it is actually still a very fearful experience for women in our village. Like, actually you see that tent in the tent that you see in the film is, we were writing, like I told you, the road was being built. So these roads are usually built by migrant laborers from Bihar and UP. And that time I was just living with my mother in the house. And At night I would see light in the tent, and it would really scare me. Not that they would come and do something, but there was always this sense of fear in the back of my head. And I think it is true anywhere right now. Even if something happens in Sikkim, and if some outsider is involved by chance, then we are still very discriminating of them. So I think it comes from, I think every society, every community has that outsider. Like you said, it is a worldwide experience. So in our case, I think mostly they are the migrant laborers who come to build the house and all of that. So we took it from there.
Mhm, mhm. The most important, and I think something which worked for me the best was, this three generations of women you show all under the same roof, the grandmother, the mother, and the two daughters. There's something very refreshing, in the way you've portrayed them, they're all very stubborn in their own way. Uh, they're all flawed in their own way. Plus, I am forgetting one other woman. I presume it's a woman. Is that cat called Azadi?
Yes, 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 yes.
You know. So, and yet there is this whole gender thing also running simultaneously. That you know, this whole premium that is put on the boy child. And the fact that marriage has taken precedence over basketball for the elder sister. Uh, and the fact that if a woman can shape the momo a certain way, perhaps she's more marriageable than if she doesn't shape them in a certain way. So, this twin scenarios where you are pushing the envelope in a certain way, and also showing how there are things which are still very inherited, perhaps. How did you go about writing, because that lends a certain interesting complexity without really being so complex, quote unquote, psychologically speaking, the characters.
Um, I think, ma'am, when we decided on writing about a house full of women, um, we knew that we are not going to be self-pitying or nostalgic about the characters. From right from the beginning, we knew that we have to be self-critical as well, very critical about them. Because I think when, especially, when I say, oh, the film is about house full of women, people are like, oh, then these women are like um, uh, perfect representation of like how women should be in society, and this that. But I feel like one of the reasons why I wanted to explore this factor is also, since I also grew up in a house full of women, I have always seen that even in the absence of men in the house, we carry the burden of patriarchy. They necessarily do not need to be in the room to make us feel like a second class citizen. We already are brought up in such a way, and we have been taught this from very little, that when even when they are not there, like suppose if my uncle walks in, he will get the first cup of tea. So when it's just us, I like, do I have to give this cup of tea to someone before drinking it? So these things were there, and so we really wanted to explore these factors. As far as three generations of women were concerned, I always felt that um, like my mother sometimes makes me feel like I'm too modern for this place, whereas I feel like she needs to change with time. So it is an ongoing battle. So I just wanted to show that, and sometimes I feel like we as like my generation, we do not offer our parents the same kind of patience that we offer ourselves. Like we are very patient with ourselves, like, oh, I have to make this choice, it's all right, this that my opinion. But we do not offer that empathy and that choice to our parents. And i think um I think that's why towards the end, the last scene with the mother is my favorite, where we where she gives a chance to our mother to tell why she is the way she is you know so all these factors were there. And with grandmother again, if you see, she is a different character altogether. And we also felt that, after a certain age, women in the society, they stop being the woman. Like they are treated like a man for some reason. Like old women can take bath outside, nobody cares. They can smoke bidi or cigarettes, the society doesn't care. So after a certain age, the women also, as they become older, they tend to enjoy that same social freedom that men enjoy. So we wanted to explore that through grandmother also. Like she drinks whiskey when she wants to poop. So all of those things. And also I felt like experiences like where the grandmother tells the protagonist to, she tells that, I hear there's a thing where you can, change your gender. So it's like it is a very sensitive topic for our generation, but for her it is like it is just a topic. So I thought all this could be explored, all these complexities could be explored if we put them together. And even with her younger sister, she's not the elder sister, the younger sister who's pregnant. I mean, she's perfect in every way. Like she's married to the right guy, she's having a baby and probably a boy, who knows. And whereas Bishnu here is just falling apart. So we wanted to draw comparisons, but at the same time, we also see that some of the ways the protagonist is very unforgiving, and she comes from a place of privilege, whereas her sister does not have the same access. So we thought that just putting these three generations together, we would be able to explore all the possible layers in the film.
It's very interesting that you point out about that unforgiving nature of hers. There's a certain lack of empathy that she seems to carry. And on the other hand, when you talk about the grandmother, there are elements of the scatological humor, as they say in this film. Women are not supposed to, delicate beings that they are. They can't talk about poop and fart. And you find, that delightful scene where all of them are sitting together and talking about it. I thought those were the little ways in which you've tried to push the envelope, haven't you?
Yes, yes, yes. And I seriously felt that scene, I mean, whenever they ask us to send a scene from our film, we always try to give that, because I feel like that particular scene also tells about a space, a space of solidarity, or, the dynamics you see when there is no male gaze present in the scene. So sometimes when women are
Absolutely.
left on their own, they can just be themselves. So we really wanted to explore this part, and we actually had a lot of things planned, but because it was winter and we couldn't shoot a certain way, so we also wanted to show them being very physically free amongst themselves, all of that. But because of winter and all, we couldn't shoot. But yeah, yeah, we really wanted to explore that as well.
Yeah. A very lovely sense of intimacy to that particular scene. Uh, and some other aspects, which kind of would kind of enlighten me about Sikkim, perhaps, this whole thing with the devices, right down to the grandmother, the mobiles, the iPads.
Yes, yes.
It, it seems to be like an obsession. Everybody seems to have one. Is it? Is
Yes,
it?
yes, yes, yes. So I think we really wanted to portray this particular thing, because we Kisle and me, we really like how Zia Danka portrays the change of landscape in terms of the change in time of a place in the background. And by introducing, if you remember the karaoke scene. So all these things have become really integral part of our society and community here in Sikkim. Like every party you go, there's a karaoke set where people are singing, and older people are watching videos on iPad. Every other person has become a vlogger here. Like that is how they're making money right now. So we thought that it is very important to put these details, so that 20 years or 30 years down the line, people will not just remember the film for plot, but they'll be like, yeah, this changes. We could see this changes in the film as well. So yeah.
Mhm, mhm. And she's also, kind of really looking forward to going to Dubai. And the little jokes that you have about the Korean daughter-in-law.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
so is Korean popular culture also popular in Sikkim, or
Absolutely,
is
absolutely. I think
okay?
Korea is one of the most popular, K-pop is most popular brand of music in the Northeast. Because I think the children here, because we look a certain way, we do not relate with the hero and heroines of mainland, and they find more similarities with the Korean pop stars. They can see themselves in those stars, so the culture has become very, very popular. If you see some random vlogs, people start speaking Korean. So I'm like, I that really intrigues me. So I thought maybe, oh, this resonates. The fact that the stars in those film or videos look similar to how we look, maybe that resonates with them. That's what I thought. Yeah, so we
Mhm.
tried to incorporate that as well. And a lot of people from not from Sikkim, but from Nepali community do work in Dubai. So we also wanted to give that as a reference.
Okay, okay. Coming to the actors, I could recognize your lead. I think I've seen her in Deepak Roniyar's film,
Yes,
Pooja.
yes, yes, yes,
She's in
yes.
Pooja, sir. Yeah. So, tell me about them. I mean, are they all professional actors, or did you pick some people, from the village itself? How have you gone about the casting?
Um, I think we were in the beginning we were just trying to look for the actor who would look the part, and I was very firm about trying to find someone who looks like me, because like I told you, I've never seen growing up, never seen someone who looks like me in the films. I was like, I have to change this for the coming generation. I have to put a hero in the film who looks like us, so that people can relate, can find some, they will be like, oh, this is our story. So I think we have more or less all the actors in the film are professional. If you see the mother, she is in most of the indie films from Nepal. She's Pashupati Rai. Her film was in TIFF. She was also in Deepak's film. So
Okay.
she was there, and some actors from Darjeeling and Sikkim. But grandmother is one of my relatives. Who she sadly passed away 3-4 months back. But
Oh, wow.
but
Okay.
she is not an actor. But she was like, when I actually had gone to audition someone, but accidentally she happened to be there. But she's a smart lady. So she auditioned, and I told her, you have to shoot this, that. And I think when she was in the hospital, I went to meet her, and she's like, the director is here. She lied to me. She told me she would shoot for 2 days, and it went on for a month. But
But
yeah,
incredible performance for a non-actor then, yeah.
yes, 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 yes. She would be like,
Uh,
why are you taking the same shot from five different angles and five different times? That was a bit taxing for her, but overall, she did a really terrific job.
I kind of, Tribeni, one last bit that I wanted to know from you to put things in perspective. How is cinema shaping up in Sikkim at the moment? And what has been the past like, and what is the present, and what's the road ahead? How are things looking like
Oh,
there?
cinema in Sikkim is, I feel like, because of I mean, the strategic problems, like, we have a very our population is very less, so we can't really expect an industry to function. So we, by default, have to depend on a Nepali film industry in Nepal and in the Nepali diaspora and all of that. But I think it is slowly picking up. There have been filmmakers who have done really well, but for over the last decade, there were very fewer films made, but it is slowly catching up, and people are indeed making a lot of films. But I think Sikkim is also tied to North Bengal, because a lot of Nepali population live there. So if you put in perspective, Darjeeling, Kalimpong, and Sikkim, I think it's doing really well now. A lot of
Okay.
filmmakers are coming up, and a lot of aspiring filmmakers actually have gone to institutes like FTI and SRFTI. So now we have a group of our own where we can actually lean on to each other and continue making films.
Because I was thinking last I saw perhaps was uh, Ralang Road. I think
Yes,
Karnataka.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that was there, and one other one. I think it was a romance, a period romance. I saw Prashant's film,
yes.
Prashant
Prashant Rasaili. Yes, 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 yes.
Rasaili's film.
Yes.
So Nepali is kind of the language with which to kind of reach out to a bigger audience as well, and any which way the core language, right?
Yes, 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 ma'am.
I also wanted to check with you. It's about the real, what the plan for the future of the film is looking like to you. I mean, are you going to first exhaust the festival route, or are you going to look at also releasing it at some point?
Yeah,
Have you
we
thought about that already, or am I kind of jumping the gun and asking you too early in the day?
No, no, ma'am. I think we have had enough time to think about it. We do want to obviously do certain festivals and then find a good premiere in India. We are looking forward to that, and then we are planning to release because I think it is such a small indie film, and we really want to capitalize on the news that it is making because it is going to festival. So yeah, so primarily I think we'll be releasing it in places that has more of Nepali populations, like and in some places in Northeast like Guwahati, Shillong, where and Dehradun and Sikkim, Darjeeling, and we will have to plan something in Nepal and the Nepali diaspora. So we obviously we would want as many people as possible to watch the films, but yeah,
Thank you so much for
absolutely.
sparing the time, and all the best. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having
Bye.
me. Bye bye, ma'am.